Everybody, let's get it. Let's get right into it. So, I was actually talking. I was having a conversation with my family members, and about what's going on as far as in the world, and basically what's happening and how these problems, quarantine, health crisis, economic crisis, how it's affecting us. I just decided to share this because there was something that was said to me that just raised so many red flags, it's not even funny. And I'm sharing this because I like to know what people think. I really, really want to know what y'all think. So, the question of quarantine and the question of school came up. So, flat out, without getting too long drawn out, my daughter says to me, she feels like because she hasn't she's going through the whole hybrid remote learning thing. She said to me that she feels like she's getting dumber. I stopped the conversation and I had to just really go really stop and think about what she just said to me, because you know for a child to say this, for a child to say this the whole fact of learning, remote learning, being at home, school restrictions. You can't go to school right now due to COVID, and when you're in school, you're so many feet apart from one another. You can't interact. The whole natural aspect of being is erased for a temporary moment. And for children, I can't imagine how harmful that is. And for my child to tell me that I feel that she feels like she's getting dumber, I had to reevaluate. I had to sit down and reevaluate. Now I have to put all the stuff that I'm doing aside right now. The whole thing that parents do, right? We constantly rebalance. We constantly have to focus and reorganize ourselves and our lives for the betterment of our family and our kids. I'm thinking, wow, now what time can I really focus? Is it am I doing something wrong? Like I start to question myself. I start to question, like what is it that I need to provide? What more can I provide to help my child be competitive and succeed? Because this is these situations, this quarantine, this mess that we're going through is making her feel like she's getting dumber. And the thing about it is, I know she's not the only child. Her friends feel the same way. Other children are being adversely impacted by everything that's going on with this with this madness, And I tell you, folks, I tell you, the day is going to come where the lawsuits, and they've already been getting filed. Lawsuits are going to be filed like crazy. People are going to get sued left and right behind all this, COVID-19 madness. And I'm going to say it, I've been saying it. I'm not afraid of the YouTube algorithm and all that mumbo jumbo foolishness. Okay? This is crazy. The adverse effect and impact is yet to be discovered, is yet to be seen, is going to be widespread. And we are going to see studies that show the results of how COVID 19, how this pandemic, scamdemic, plandemic negatively affected children. negatively affected adults. But for the sake and purposes of this conversation, I'm talking about children. I felt so bad. Like, man, do I have to now just change up and, you know, cause stop what I'm doing and think about homeschooling? Do I have to just do that and just put like serious attention to that? Because the mayor and the school chancellor and the whole board and everything with school is just a mess right now. It's just a mess right now. These government leaders, look at the birds, are corroborating my stance right here. They're like, yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess right now. Folks don't know when this is going to end. And even today, there were talks that this will very well carry on through the entire year 2021. The entire year. This is painful stuff, man. And I don't like to really talk about daunting, gloom and doom and dreadful issues, but I had to say something about that because I like to talk about honest, like real topics that's important to me. And I want to hear what the people in the world think about what's going on here. I really wanted to, because that just messed me up in a way that I had to just stop whatever I was doing and and take a moment to think. Sometimes we hear the truth from the mouth of babes. We hear the truth. Children present a certain level of innocence, a certain level of they're so inconspicuous and present a certain level of honesty that's so raw. You have to take heed. You have to take heed, or else I can't even imagine what the consequences were going to be. Definitely negative. Definitely negative if they go ignored. And when I look at things that are going on in the world, we have this election coming up. We have, problems, bipartisan, elected officials can't agree to really come together as one and face and solve problems that are affecting all Americans, for example. All Americans, including children. No, it's about their pockets, it's about their reputation, it's about retaining and keeping control and their power. Whatever fictitious nonsense they got going on in their minds, that's what they want. They don't care about the regular average citizens, the average people, the regular schmegula citizen. They do not care. They do not care. It's about feeding the corporations, feeding these entities, and allowing them to continue to have more control, more power, more money, and the rest of us can just go to hell. I'm like at the point right now. I'm at the point right now where it doesn't matter who's in office, in my opinion. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's in office. It doesn't matter who I vote for. It doesn't matter. Because the people who had the chance, the people who really had the chance to really, I guess, subvert or protect us from the conditions to reaching this level, dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. The level of post-traumatic stress that this has brought, we can't even imagine. We can't even imagine. The studies will show in the future how bad the impact has been. And you talking about, I love my kids. You know what I mean? I love my kids. And to see, and I can't stand, there's one thing I can't stand, is to see them suffer. And to be almost like I'm looking for answers, and to, not being able to provide, not or to help them through issues. Wow, man. Issues like that, like to feel like you're getting done. There's only so much you can do as a parent, you know? When they're home, okay, what they need to learn how to socialize. They need to know what it is, at least enjoy their childhood. They look forward to being among their classmates. You're talking about school here. You're talking about, education. You're talking about a certain level of empowerment. I don't get it. I don't get it. But sad to say, I'm sure certain demographics are not affected by this, not to this degree, and that's why I just and I always somehow some way try to bring it back to cryptocurrency. Some of these demographics could care less. Some of these individuals and wealthy people could care less with the folks who are at the bottom. The middle class, you at the bottom. Low, poor, you at the bottom. They could care less what we're going through. Those of us who try to really earn for ourselves, who try to really be self-made entrepreneurs, provide for our families, pay our taxes, follow the law to the T, live straight as an arrow. We got to deal with the proverbial mistakes and huge costly errors that these leaders have made, and watch them exercise gross mismanagement and gross levels of inefficiency. I mean, this is just beyond me. And now it's affecting my child. And I know I'm not the only one out here. It's affecting our children. We're failing them right now, man. Like, really, we're failing them. This is the most somber ass Halloween I've seen in my natural life. It's not even about Halloween. I could care less, but it's for the kids, though. I know I just sidestep, I switched it up, but still, this year, I tell you, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say anymore. It's like we continuing to fight for a fighting chance. How about that? You fighting to fight for a fighting chance. It's ridiculous. This is madness. Unconscionable what these people, how things are being led here. Unconscionable. And you wonder why folks have so many, people just don't want to be a part of the system anymore. You wonder why you have folks who literally try to live off the grid. You wonder. You wonder why. You wonder. Take care.